Hey everybody, I'm Clifford Stummy, the pop song professor. This is my wife April. Today we are going to talk about Katy Perry's new album, Witness, and I am super excited. There are a lot of good songs that she puts out. She's a very good pop artist. What are your feelings about Katy Perry?
I don't like Katy Perry.
Alright, April doesn't like Katy Perry. We got that out of the way. We don't have anything against Katy Perry in particular, but there were some lines on Witness. We together want to share them with you guys. Like, some of these are just freaking hilariously awful. Alright, so the first one is in the song Witness. She sings, "If shit hits the fan, grenades got thrown, would you still show, oh, could you go down with me to the mat?" So essentially, if shit hit the fan, could you go down with me to the mat?
Is she pooping grenades? Is that I'm very confused.
That's funny because you don't expect April to say something like that. If shit hit the fan, grenades got thrown. Yeah, I guess she doesn't really clarify those as two separate events.
Okay.
It's like on one hand...
Okay, they could be separate though.
My solution to this problem, like, I wouldn't be like, could you go down with me to the mat? I would say, could you hand me an umbrella?
That's valid. If everything goes wrong, right, will you fight with me?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
maybe will you fight me though? If you go down with me to the mat, that's like wrestling, right?
Yeah, so does she want this person to be her enemy? Like, if my life gets terrible, will you be against me? Will you help me to make it worse? Alright, and then in Hey Hey Hey, she compares herself to Marilyn Monroe in a monster truck. She's saying like she's a powerful, independent woman who's also like pretty and wears dresses, is essentially some of the exact words she uses.
Marilyn Monroe is pretty cool about being in a monster truck.
Right, yeah. Isn't she already kind of like quote-unquote woke enough? Does she need a monster truck?
Never say woke. Just stop saying woke.
I have to say it one more time.
Cliff is the least woke person you know.
Alright, then in Swish Swish, it's a diss track, probably about Taylor Swift. And she says to, quote, probably Taylor Swift, "You're about as cute as an old coupon expired."
Unexpired coupons are pretty cute, I'll give her that.
Yeah, and what was this coupon for? Hot Pockets?
Why does that matter?
I think it does, because, I mean, could a coupon be cute if it were for a certain product?
Maybe makeup, if it was like a CoverGirl.
If it was like a picture on the coupon?
Or little kids' clothes or something.
Yeah.
Like baby diapers.
But if it's for like a Hot Pocket, I mean, not cute at all. Alright, Deja Vu. When you're drunk, you say I'm the one. Then you wake up. You suck my hope up in a vacuum.
I think my biggest problem with this is that it doesn't rhyme.
But that seems like the least bad way to get your hope stolen, because can't you just like open up the bag in the vacuum and take it back out? Like it's... We're gonna move on to number 5, Mind Maze. Caught in a cage, a complex cage. Am I a car on fire? Will I be devoured? Why is a car on fire in a complex cage? I don't understand.
That's a question I ask myself on a daily basis.
Am I a car on fire?
Car on fire.
Number 6 comes from Miss You More. Saw a balloon floating away. I thought, did someone let it go or did they lose it?
See, okay, if that was a line in a slam poem or something, I could almost deal with it.
Change the rhythm. Dance, dance, dance to the distortion. Come on, turn it up. Keep it on repeat. Stumbling around like a wasted zombie. This is one we've been having to suffer through for several months, that it's been on the top 10 or 40 or whatever.
I don't have such a problem with this one, except that she had to, like... Again, it feels like she's piling it on unnecessarily. Like, if you're stumbling around, you could just be a zombie, or you could just be wasted. Can a zombie even get wasted?
What kind of alcohol do zombies drink?
What's the difference between a normal zombie and a wasted zombie? Like, the wasted zombie calls its ex and leaves an embarrassing phone message, but that's it. I feel like you're stumbling the same, wasted or not, if you're a zombie.
Bon Appetit I like because she's been so vague up to this point that it feels oddly specific, because it makes it sound like she's trying to let us know that she's dating a diabetic. She says, you could use some sugar because your levels ain't right. And that's the whole point of the song, is to say like, boy, I want you to eat me. And so she's using like eating and devouring, which she was afraid of a second ago, and now she's inviting it as a metaphor for like sexual intimacy.
So she's the sugar.
She's the sugar, yeah. She's calling herself sugar. She calls herself lots of other things, yeah. And so, like, I've never heard of anything more sexy than talking about, like, diabetes.
Right.
I mean,
your thyroid's gonna screw up if we don't get you some sugar here. Have you taken your insulin recently?
Oh my gosh. And then in Bigger Than Me, she says, if I'm not evolving, I'm just another robot taking up oxygen. A moment of silence for mixed metaphors everywhere.
I realize that this is a metaphor. I can't take her too
No,
literally
it's
at this.
two metaphors.
But
it's three metaphors.
It doesn't really work. Like, first of all, a robot does not take up oxygen.
Yep.
Second of all, a robot can't evolve. So if you are a robot currently, bad news. You're going to be a robot somehow taking up oxygen forever. She should find one consistent metaphor that smooths through all of those.
I get the feeling with so many of these lyrics that she was like, I want to write about this topic, and then she drafted it out, or her songwriters helped her draft it out, or they just drafted it out and handed it to her, but nobody went back through these and edited them. Okay.
Okay.
The number 10 is probably one of the best. I built a wall so high no one could reach. Pretty normal, like that's a common sentiment. Then she says, a life of locks, I swallowed all the keys. Bad news, honey, if you were trying to keep people out, just wait 24 hours. You'll be seeing them again.
Well, swallowing a key is pretty typical, right? Like, people do that in movies, don't they?
Yeah,
My question is,
a
if
cliche.
she built a wall so high no one could reach, why did she put doors in it so she needed locks? That seems really dumb.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of that. And how does she get her groceries?
This is a wall around her heart.
Okay.
She's the one who needs the person talking to her about, like, her levels.
It's just
like, you swallowed all those keys, your levels ain't right anymore.
All right, well, that is number 10, guys. That's all of them. Sometime tonight, probably by the time you're watching this, I'm going to post a podcast explaining the entire album. I go through these 10 things at the end, but I go more in depth on a lot of the songs, talk about the meaning, talk about some reviews, and we take a look at what she meant by purposeful pop when she described what was going to be happening in this album, when in fact, I think only a third of these songs actually have any sort of purpose beyond a romantic relationship or some sort of diss track. So it's going to be really interesting. I just recorded it a few hours ago, so it is really interesting. Check it out in the link in the description and let me know what you think. April, thank you for joining us today. This was a lot of fun, and we'll talk to you guys next time.